Have you ever wondered what life was like in Vernon during the 1800s? The earlier days of settlement were a very different world. Alice Barrett Parke lived in Vernon from 1891 to 1900, and over these 9 years she penned hundreds of thousands of words that span across several journals. Through her words we have been given a glimpse into Vernon's earliest history. "10 months today since we reached Vernon. How many people I have got to know! Almost everyone, I think. I don't dislike the place quite so much as I did at first, though it will never really be dear to me, I fear. Mrs. Ellison wants me to teach in the Presbyterian Sunday School, and I believe I will. This morning I baked bread, made an apple pie, and a blancmange for Tom Godwin, which I took over to him. He is sick in bed with grippe. I ran into Mrs. Coriel's for a minute, and when I came home made a hat for Nona. It is very pretty if I do say it, as shouldn't. Nona and I are sitting, one each side of the table, she reading. We won't have long alone, I expect, as Mrs. Smith was in, and said her daughter Nina was coming over to see Nona tonight. This morning we had a great tidying up, to look nice and trim for Harry and Mrs. Pelly. Hal was very late in coming to breakfast. I hate to send any blank pages in this, but have not time to finish it if I send it off this morning. I was out in the morning trying to sell some of my little paintings, and was successful in a measure. Thus ends this diary. I wonder how it will find all in the dear old home. I know it carried loads of love from me in every page and every line. Hal says, I used to think I exhibited simply eccentricity in always putting articles in a new spot, but now he knows it is genuine. The number of places I can find in a small room to put things. It is well for me that Harold is not a man who cares more for dinner than anything else. For this new wild life a man needs a strong and yet flexible character, if he be of a nature that too readily can suit himself to circumstances he is apt to sink to fit his surroundings. On the other hand, if he cannot put up with the absence of luxury and refinement, his life must be a kind of purgatory. There are both men and women who live noble, loving, true lives in the Wild West, as in the older East. Vernon has had a visit from His Excellency the Governor-General and Lady Aberdeen, and everyone has been delighting to do him honor. They held a reception in the courthouse to which all the world and his wife went, and on Monday they had a public meeting to try and persuade the citizens to establish a public library. There is to be a much talked of marriage tomorrow. Beatrice Mio, a protégée of Lady Aberdeen's, is to marry Mr. Lowe, the deputy sheriff. Lady Aberdeen is giving a wedding breakfast at the Calamalca for them. We were asked, but are not going. My shoulder is still too lame for me to enjoy sitting up stiff and straight for a couple of hours with a light dress on. It is just a year today since we took the post office over from Mr. Costerton. The daily trains began on Monday, so now we'll have a mail every morning. It rained quite hard last night, but has cleared off nicely now. Still, I won't be able to go out much, as Mrs. Taylor may come early, and I have some little